Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is with us. Mr. Speaker, good to have you back. How are you, sir?
Sean, it's great to be with you. And what stands out tonight is this stunning contrast of what we're seeing. This history is being made. Here's President Trump showing peace through strength, using his power and position to bring peace to the Middle East. I mean, a truly massive, historic foreign policy achievement, returning hostages, restoring security to Israel, setting a foundation for lasting peace, and reducing taxes on hardworking Americans at the same time, and ending the border crisis, and ending the crime crisis, and reducing fraud, waste, and abuse in government, and now settling international conflicts all around the globe. And here's the Democrats on Capitol Hill acting like a bunch of clowns. They're trying to lie to the American people. They're trying to play politics with government funding, and real Americans are being harmed. I think that there is such a stark contrast. I'm not sure there has ever been such a strong contrast between two political parties. The Republican Party is delivering for the American people, and the Democrats trying to make a show out of this.
You know, there's a lot of lying that's been going on. What really is happening, and correct me at any point if I'm wrong, the Democrats are demanding $1.5 trillion in new spending. Republicans are offering a continuing resolution to keep spending at its current levels with no cuts at all whatsoever, while you can work out the details and keep the government open and make sure everyone gets a paycheck, et cetera. But what is the $1.5 trillion for? They've lied and said it's not about funding for health care that in part will go to illegal immigrants. That is a false statement on their part, is it not?
It absolutely is a false statement, and you don't have to take our word for it. Go to my website, speaker.gov. Right there on the homepage, you can see Chuck Schumer's own document. He filed a counter-proposal. It would spend $1.5 trillion of hardworking taxpayer funds, and a big chunk of that would go to give benefits again, health care and other benefits, to illegal aliens. It is in writing. He's the one that filed it. Look at page 57, section 2141 of Chuck Schumer's counter-proposal. It's right there for everybody to see. They can't hide it. They also want to give $500 million back to NPR and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting so they can prop up left-leaning biased organizations again. Oh, and by the way, they want to cut $50 billion from rural hospitals that President Trump and the Republican Party signed into law just on July 4th. It is a charade. They're looking for a political issue to show a fight against Trump because they have real derangement syndrome. And Chuck Schumer is afraid, Sean, it all comes down to this. He is afraid that he's going to get a challenge from the Marxist flank of his party in his next reelection bid to return to the Senate. He's been in the Senate for almost in Congress for almost 45 years. And there's a Marxist rise in New York. That's his state. He's worried about it, so he's got to show a fight right now. And he seems not to care at all about the real Americans who are being harmed because of these shenanigans.
You know what? I think that brings us to a Schumer, I don't know, a flashback, we'll call it. And because this is a guy's entire career has said he will not shut down the government, how dangerous it is to shut down the government. And you hit on, you know, the main point. The only reason he is doing this is he fears the radicals that now run his party. He is the minority leader in name only, as reflected by him changing his position from what we just showed you to this. Take a look.
What if I persuaded my caucus to say I'm going to shut the government down, I'm going to not pay our bills unless I get my way? It's a politics of idiocy, of confrontation, of paralysis. It's sort of like this. Someone goes into your house, takes your wife and children hostage, and then says, let's negotiate over the price of your house. You know, we could do the same thing on immigration. We believe strongly in immigration reform. We could say we're shutting down the government. We're not going to raise the debt ceiling until you pass immigration reform. It would be governmental chaos.
Speaker McCarthy needs to stop letting the MAGA radicals drive his decisions and do the obvious and sensible thing. Follow the Senate's lead and pass a bipartisan CR to prevent this reckless shutdown.
We do not want to let a Trump temper tantrum govern our policies or cause the shutdown of a government which everyone on both sides of the aisles knows is the wrong idea.
Oh, looks to me like a Schumer temper tantrum. It looks like political idiocy and hostage taking, Mr. Speaker. What do you make of this? His entire career he's been against shutdowns. Now all of a sudden he fears he's losing whatever power he may have left, and I don't think he has any myself. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no power and no strength, no resolve, no strategy. Play his own words there. By his own admission, he is apparently a reckless idiot, because that's what he said in his own quotes there. It's stunning to me. For 4 decades, he has railed against closing down the government because he said it would be so dangerous and harmful to the people. He was right then. He's just changed his tune. He gave those speeches as recently as March of this year, Sean, when he voted for the exact same measure that we just put on the floor. You noted at the outset here, we did this in good faith. Republicans are trying to govern. We're trying to build back the muscle memory to appropriate the taxpayers' funds in a responsible manner. We just needed a little bit more time to finish that process. So Republicans and Democrats in the House got together and said, let's do a stopgap measure for just 7 weeks to allow the time. And Chuck Schumer has blown it up and turned it into this big nonsensical fight that is now doing real harm to real people. You know, troops are going to go without pay on October 15th. Border Patrol agents, TSA agents, air traffic controllers. You got nutrition supplement programs that are being stalled, veteran services, and FEMA services in the middle of a hurricane season. It's reckless and crazy. He was right in all those quotes. He is very wrong today, and I think the Democrats are going to pay a big price for this.
Did I see you almost lose your temper today? I saw for the first time a little flash of Mike Johnson, you know, getting a little teed off at Democrats in the media. Did I see that today, or did I imagine that?
I've hit my limit, Sean. I'm a very patient man, but I mean, look, I'm so disgusted that the Democrats are playing games. They're using American people as pawns in their political game, and real people are getting hurt. I've had enough of it.
You know what? The American people have had enough of this. $1.5 trillion to fund the government for 7 weeks, in part to fund illegal immigrants, NPR, and, you know, public broadcasting. This is madness. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, thank you. We appreciate it. When we come. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.